distinguished guests, friends. It's my pleasure to be inaugurating this conference, and thank you very much for choosing Malta for this important conference. I wish to stress that this topic, that is sustainable tourism in historic centres, is very much in line with government policy and with the recently updated National Tourism Policy. I consider the Mediterranean as the most important tourism region. The Mediterranean destinations have served as an ideal sanitary product, but which we are now clearly shifting away from the term beach holiday, with which the Mediterranean is strongly associated with. Its history and treasures of antiquity are now taking center stage, adding to the strong appeal this region enjoys. In this context, Mediterranean countries need to constantly evaluate their policies and strategies, as this is fundamental to achieving sustainable tourism growth. I'm glad that this conference, in fact, supports and addresses this very process. Over the years, I must say that Malta has established itself as an important and relevant tourist destination in the Mediterranean region. Last year, an absolute record year for Malta. We recorded 1.7 million tourists, actually more than 1.7, who visited the Maltese islands. Total bed nights in Malta rose to 13.5 million, and tourist expenditure recorded an absolute record of 1.5 billion euros. The statistics for the first quarter of 2015 have revealed further growth when compared to last year, and the indications for the rest of the year are very encouraging. Part of this success is attributed to Malta's strategic decision to position itself as a cultural destination, offering a diversity of experiences. The growth potential for cultural tourism is becoming increasingly significant to our islands, and recent visitors surveys by the Malta Tourism Authority show that 42% chose Malta because they are positively influenced by its history and culture. Interestingly, these surveys show a higher share of respondents engaged in cultural activities and visits to historic sites during the off-peak months, the winter months, which underlines the potential this market segment has in terms of improving our seasonality challenge, a challenge which every Mediterranean tourism destination has. Malta is indeed small in size, but incredibly rich in culture and history. The Maltese Islands are a living testimony to over 7,000 years of civilization, with an astonishing concentration and density of unique cultural and historic attractions. In terms of historic attractions, Malta offers a very strong tourism product. We have I can classify four main historic centres, namely Valletta, Floriana, the three cities referred to as the Cotonera, the Mdina Rabateria, and the Citadel Victoria, centred in our sister island, Gozo. These historic centres provide visitors with an extensive choice of attractions that range from quaint streets and urban spaces to archaeological sites such as those in Rabat, to palatial buildings and richly adorned churches located in other historic localities. Apart from these main historic centres, the Maltese Islands offer other historic areas that give visitors the opportunity to interact with the local community. These are the cores of many of our old towns and villages across Malta and Gozo, which I must say are still untapped as far as tourism is concerned. In terms of tourism heritage products, the issue for Malta, in my opinion, is not so much to create more heritage-based products, but how to best promote and market them. Such products, I must say, are already abundantly available. In this sense, in these last years, government has deployed substantial capital investment for the rehabilitation and restoration of the historic centres. This follows Malta's cultural development policies and the strengthening of the Malta cultural brand. This is also very much in line with Malta's commitment and major investments towards an important objective, the Valletta European Capital of Culture 2018. In fact, extensive restorations works have been carried out at the Valletta fortifications and other historic cities, in addition to numerous other projects which are currently underway in preparation for the 2018 objective. These projects shall also leave an indirect and long-term economic benefit to our islands. Notwithstanding the above-mentioned strengths of our historic cities as tourism products and the various initiatives which we have undertaken, in my opinion, that there are a number of issues which we need to continue addressing. One, there are far too many instances in historic areas where public and privately owned buildings are not properly maintained, or even worse, totally abandoned. This has a significant impact on the entire tourism product. Their upkeep and maintenance in every aspect calls for direct capital investment. A number of these properties have the potential to be converted into tourism-related facilities, such as tourism accommodation, art galleries, and museums. The level of investment needed to bring historic cities up to scratch, in my opinion, will never happen with public funds alone. Leverage of private funds by means of public sector initiatives and public-private partnerships is the way forward. The development currently happening in Valletta is probably one of the best examples in this regard. Point two, tourism accommodation within historic centres, which is key to successful regeneration. Living within a historic context gives added value to the holiday for those tourists who are more culturally orientated. An added benefit of hotels in historic cities is that they generate more activity. Therefore, we are working on a number of schemes and initiatives to incentivize small-scale accommodation development in historic centres, such as schemes for the development of palazzos and boutique hotel accommodation. In addition, we are also revising current legislation to facilitate such development and to introduce new and innovative accommodation components, such as the diffuse hotel label, which allows small hotels within historic centres to share certain facilities. And this will surely give us more flexibility for the future. Point three, it is also important to establish planning policies that take a proactive approach towards regeneration planning policies, as at times they are purely restrictive on how defining the historic value of an individual building and how it can be protected. In my opinion, the point of departure for any discussion and policy making on historic centres and their regeneration should be on how to ensure sufficient investment in historic centres to remain livable, vibrant, and sustainable in the long term. The focus should be on regeneration, and this will derive significant social, economic, and environmental benefits, and will also result in a significantly more quality tourism product. The last point, point 4. We need to effectively align our marketing efforts with product development initiatives, as this form of synergy can offer the best positive experience to our visitors. To conclude, this conference will surely give us the opportunity to discuss how this could be best achieved while shaping future policy and decision-making. I wish to conclude by congratulating all the organizations for undertaking this important project, and I offer all the participants a successful outcome from this conference. Thank you for your